Well, we'll just edit it along here. Okay. So it's suggested that all there is energy. All there is energy. Everything. It's all there is. It's boundless, it's wild, it's free. It doesn't actually have any limitation or direction or dimension. Dimensions and directions are simply appearances that energy appears as. There's no inside and outside to it. There's no left, right, up, down, above, below. There's just wholeness, and it's energy. You could call it energetic, and it's suggested that that is all there is. It's also called nothing, because it's not a thing that could be objectified or subjectified. Anything that's a thing is susceptible to objectification and subjectification. So it's not a thing, it's nothing. Being all there is. It's nothing being everything. Not some black empty void of, vast space where there's no object. It's not, that is still another thing. That's still another idea. That's still another interpretation. Nothing is just simply a word that can't be defined, and that's all there is. So it's energy, it's nothing, it's everything, it's boundless, it's free, it's unconditional, and that's it. That's all there is. And being boundless, being unconditional, being wild and free, without limitation or conditionality, it can appear to be limited, finite, contracted, separate, and conditional. But it's suggested that those are just appearances. They're not solid or substantial or real. And for the human form, there seems to be an experience of separation. There seems to appear a sense of me, a contracted energy, a contraction that seems to localize to a human body. And it's suggested that this happens at a very young age of the baby being born. And what seems to happen out of that is a sense of an objectified world where everything is being seen, heard, tasted, touched, smelled, thought and felt about by me. There's a distance, there's a separation. So it's often the mother or the father or the primary caregiver that is often the first thing that I am relating to. I am separate from my mother. So this is the apparent beginning of a world, an artificial world of relating, separation. And as the body seems to grow up, time seems to be a real constant, a real consistent line, a linear line, horizontal, with a past and a moving on a present towards the future. What also seems to be real out of this energy is space, because there's a sense that I am, therefore there's a sense that I'm here, that there's a sense, a felt sense, a visceral sense of here. I'm located in space, and everywhere else is a there. And as this seems to go on, this dream, this artificial reality of separation seems to feel so real, so absolutely substantial and solid. And what also seems to happen is a sense of dis-ease, dissatisfaction. In Buddhism they call it dukkha, unsatisfactoriness. And this unsatisfactoriness, whether it's subtle or gross, seems to give birth, if you like, to seeking for pleasure, relief, some kind of comfort, and ultimately liberation from this existential predicament. For many bodies it doesn't seem that existential, it might just be a bit, uncomfortable. But for other bodies, as we see in the world, there's addictions and all sorts of traumatic situations going on, codependency, and also religion and spirituality seems to be other forms of seeking for something better, for seeking for something grand or whole or divine. And this seeking is longing for the absence of separation, it's suggested. It's longing for the absence of the sense of I amness, because the sense of I amness is separation. And so it's longing for it goes by many names: God, Kingdom of Heaven, the Divine, the Beloved. But really it's unnameable, it's undefinable. It's all there is. It's not separate, therefore it's not anything to be objectified. There is no real separation already. And in that experience of separation, what also seems to be felt as absolutely real is choice and free will, autonomy. There seems to be a sense that someone is in control of the body by being apparently distant from the body and the mind, like the sense of someone perceiving body and mind. There seems to be an additional sense that someone is watching over that and therefore subtly or grossly controlling it. That someone's subtly or grossly controlling the hand gestures, the movement of the body, and speaking, thinking, listening. And that's not real. That's not real. There is no choice or free will or autonomy already. There's no real volition, because without separation there is no where to be in control of something else. There just is wholeness already. And also another sting is meaning and purpose. So when meaning and purpose seems very important, well, it only ever seems important, it feels like we're all going somewhere, that we're all moving in a direction towards wholeness, or towards the beloved, the divine, God or Kingdom of Heaven or whatever. But that can't be moved towards or away from, because it's actually everything. It's all there is. It can't be limited. Therefore, it's already all there is. It's everything. To move towards or away from it, it would have to be some sort of object or another apparent subject, or it would have to be a something that could be escaped from and entered into. But there's no falling inside or outside of what is already boundless and free. And so what's being shared in this meeting is an exposure, not a teaching. It's not advising anyone or anything. It's not prescribing or delivering any instructions as to how anyone should live or be. It's not even validating that anything is actually wrong, that anything is broken. It's suggesting and exposing that all there is already, timelessly, is complete, boundless, unconditional freedom. And in that respect, is absolutely pointless. It's pointless because there's no sort of intention with that. There's no agenda to fix or make something different. It's just an exposure, a joyful exposure, but an exposure nevertheless. And that's it. And what can seem to happen for some bodies is some kind of receptivity to that, an openness. Not always. I mean, a lot of the time it's actually met with total resistance and irritation and disappointment, frustration, because it's not speaking to a separate self. There's no acknowledgement that there is even a separate self happening in the first place. It's just an illusion, as has been said already, an illusion of boundless energy appearing as contracted energy. but again, for some bodies, there can seem to be some sort of receptivity to that. And what can seem to happen is a resonance, some sort of resonance, which can only lousily be called energetic, because it's just like seemingly felt, but not objectively felt. It's just a sense that, oh, of course there's no separation, of course there's no two, of course there's no me, there's just what is and is not, it's all there is. And so an unravelling of beliefs and opinions, views and values can happen for some, and a recontracting and strengthening can happen for others. And it's all freedom, whether agreement, disagreement, resisting, resenting, or resonating happens, it's all freedom. There is only freedom. It's unconditional. So we can chat about that, or apparently chat about that, and see what happens. Questions, answers, comments, responses, and silence, and laughter. It all happens. And what? Request.
Alexis, we were talking on Zoom, and I asked you about it, but what is impulses?
Yeah.
So I mean, because I was thinking about that, but just card about it. Like, so an impulse is in the story of me. It's an impulse. I've got an impulse to do this. Yeah.
That would seem to be it.
Yeah. So, but is that how close is that to like the automatic reaction of a human? You know what I mean? So like, say like if I went like this, like to a rabbit or something, either way, is that it? You could maybe say that's his impulse to run away, whatever. But it's not, is it? It's just a natural reaction to it.
Reaction, impulse, they're just words.
Yeah.
But yeah, body would seem to, obviously have a natural tendency to avoid pain and move towards pleasure.
Yeah.
So the word impulse is ambiguous in that sense.
Yeah.
If you mean impulse in the sense of like, there's a bus coming, oh, I'd better get out of the fucking road, that's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, arguably.
So impulse in that sense is like,
When you said about, so obviously striving towards meaning or purpose, and you said that's you see it as separate. But if you know that you are it, you are part of that purpose, doesn't it help then to connect with it? Because it's like you know that you are it. I guess it is looking for something extra outside of you, but does it not help in the process?
There's no process. Yeah. There's no real time. There's no real progress. There's no real destination. Already is there, just wholeness. It's beyond time. It's beyond space. It's beyond conditionality and limitation. So to say you are it, or more famously in the East, I am that. It's a separation statement, because there's an I that is that. There's just that. There's just what is. The I that claims to be that is the whole definition of that statement is a dualistic statement. It's not a non-dual statement. It would like to think that that's a non-dual statement because there's an I that is that, but there can't be both. There can't be an I and a that. There just is that. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. It's like absolutely nothing wrong with it. For many, on a yogic path or other path, that might be where it's felt. That might be the sense, but this all totally collapses. Collapses.
Is being a kind of bullshit statement.
It's another story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is what meaning?
Meaning and being.
Yeah, so meaning and being is a
Yeah.
term that's used when it's talked about as an illusory process. The illusory process of the collapsing of the contracted energy in other circles that is seemingly referred to as ego death. So there's a sense of me and then there's no sense of me. And then there's a sense of me and then there's no sense. It's like a contracting and an expanding and a collapsing. It's like, I mean, that's a story, but that's what seems to be happening for some bodies when there's a contraction and then a glimpse where there's like no sense of anyone at all, just isness or beingness or
What is this?
meaning and being. And then meaning doesn't return and it's revealed, obviously, to no one, just all by itself, non-self, that there is just beingness and there was never a real me in that.
Yeah.
Far out. Not even far out.
Beautiful. There's nothing, I don't know, it's just, it is. But that in itself is a process.
An illusory process,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, the whole story of being and being it is a story. It's not a reality. It's sometimes said it's the collapse of something that never really happened. It only seemed to. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it? Contractions, like I said, for a human, I am here. That's like something jumping out of the 2D screen on it. You go, I'm here. It's like, no, but actually the default position of every human being is just unification, if you like. Well, no, it's not even. No, sorry. Bullshit.
Where are you going?
I'm just there.
What's happening?
I'm trying to work out my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, so I'm trying to explain, like, so me is a state of like sticking out and being like, I'm here. It's in that. So the opposition will be that we kind of, it's just like plain nothingness, but everything.
Yeah.
Being.
Everything.
Being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
Being without anyone being.
Yeah.
Just being.
Yeah. And then you pop your head out and go, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
It's a good one. Yeah.
A bit like a whack-a-mole or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I think about the fish example in the ocean.
Meaning is not a state of being. Meaning is just an illusory state.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
It is, isn't it?
And pointless.
Yeah.
Utterly pointless. Utterly pointless, yeah.
That's what people don't like.
Apart from the
That's why I can mess with
Not
your
going
head.
with it.
Yeah.
apart from the iced latte, you've come to the most pointless
Yeah.
thing ever.
Good peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in that can appear a lot of joy because you think about the childlike wonder. There's no meaning going on in the child's life. It's just play and chaos and full on aliveness. There's no meaning in that whatsoever. It's just play and not all play,
Because things just happen, don't they? Because you're like,
they appear to.
yeah, so I'm saying like, since Elba had that like childlike state, and it's like, yeah, but there's still mortgages to pay, there's still cars to drive, there's still this and that, so, but everything's happened anyway, because
Those things just happen
Yeah.
regardless of
Yeah.
if it feels like someone's doing them or not.
yeah. So that they were playing the guitar. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. That's just the what is it, character? We said that I'm a character playing the guitar.
Yeah.
state.
Yeah, so the word character is, you know, I tend to use the word character as just the appearance of body doing things without someone in it.
Yeah.
Avatars. Who was it? Was it Jim Carrey that said it's an avatar?
Yeah.
A body, like a... I think it was everyone.
But even that falls short, because if we open another time,
Yeah, no, he meant like character, like a body.
Yeah, there's no one already. The appearance of characteristics, preferences, mannerisms, this and that, all goes on fine.
I don't know why I just keep finding it funny because
It
it
is.
doesn't know.
It
is,
You
yeah.
put so much meaning in everything when it's not.
It's utterly hilarious.
Yeah.
That's why it's said that this is a great humiliation. Like this is the revelation that there is no one. Not only did no one ever do anything, but there just is no one already. It's all happening in free flow already. Even the claims and the sense that someone is here, yes, no, there is an I am, and that is doing something, that is happening in free flow as well.
It's nice because it pulls the rug into like the spiritual kind of like costume that you know, like you get into some things. Oh, I'm moving towards enlightenment or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a persona in that, and it's kind of relished in. Like, yeah, this is it's special, and it tickles the me sense. And it's like, and you know, I'm going somewhere, or you know, I've been somewhere or whatever. But yeah, this message, as clearly as you deliver it, is that you know, it just completely flattens the field, if you like. And it's really nice, it's really refreshing. That if it's heard as directly as you're talking it, like, then it's nice because it can take away some of the madness. Like when I don't know, just talking about myself now, but like when you get on a sort of spiritual path, you can build it up in your head as a differentiator between you and other people. Like either they're sort of further a lot higher up or whatever, or it's the other way around.
That's a lot of pressure.
Oh, intense. I mean, all identity collapses. There's no identity left, and there's no hierarchy. There's no authority. It's anarchy.
Yeah. So it's just this talking to itself, or you know,
there's
seemingly moving but not.
Yeah, there's just talking.
And yeah, there's nothing to like stack your hats on or something. I don't know, just like you can't build a tower or a spiritual identity from that. It's just like, no, you're square one. Well, you're not square one, but it is square one.
Square none.
Square none.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that revealing is.
It's the most freeing thing you can imagine.
It is freedom from me.
Yeah,
it's freedom from the illusion, but no
yeah.
one has that. It's the end of the someone dream. So it is the most freeing thing ever, and yet it already is freedom.
Good.
No one wants that.
No, God, no. What would they?
But I do resonate a lot with what you said.
Yeah.
We do tend to place that, have that spiritual identity and think, okay, that is something, but actually you're just striving towards, it's just another illusion.
Going nowhere.
Yeah.
You sort of, you're almost stepping away from the message by, if it does become some kind of like identity, or it's taken as some kind of like, you're on a path to somewhere, from somewhere. I don't know, I just realised, like, in the past I've seen that, people have their things they're into, I suppose. I resonate with this message, but it's only when it's delivered as clearly as it's like, you can't really actually make something out of it to like hold in your hand.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm not,
exactly. It's not a thing to hold
No.
on to.
Whereas even if it's sort of like close to the way you say it, like yeah, meaning and being thing, you can be like, oh yeah, I'm going through a process. There's like, you know, there's this thing that's going on.
Yeah.
I must be more less me and more being, more. Well,
Yeah.
2 hours a day now, so.
Because in the experiential reality, I can see why people talk about that, but then it can become like a focus, like
Oh yeah, just another
that's
story.
Yeah.
Another subtle seeking energy.
Yeah.
Like if I come to enough of Tony's meetings, Jim's meetings, Alexis meetings, whoever else meetings, listen to enough videos, then I'll start to fall away. It's another nonsensical story, just to apparently keep that illusory momentum going on, which isn't even really happening at all. And there's no moving towards or away from that. It's already done.
Yeah.
It's just done.
And it makes sense because the rest of life seems so linear. Like you build a house, it'll take you a while to make the house, and then another load of while for it to crumble down again. And it's nice that it doesn't apply, but it's sort of quite. I don't know. It's such a like a central part of the message, but it's quite hard to sort of actually go, okay, that doesn't apply here. Like this, because it just applies to everything else.
Yeah, I mean what's being shared is totally unapplicable.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can't be applied whatsoever. It's not even an it to be applied.
It just seems to take the momentum out of applying.
It can seem to. I mean, there's no one. You know, it's just some bodies can seem to. You know, and others.
Yeah, I'm going to keep.
Yeah.
It's amazing the sort of the diverse range of reactions and responses to this sharing, because some bodies it's like the most relieving thing that's ever been heard, and in other bodies it can seem to alert the fight and flight system.
Yeah.
That exposure is so
Intense. Like some people just not meant to hear it.
good
They
because
take
of
it the
the,
wrong. They don't see it like that. Or
because it's not talking to them. It's
Yeah.
not talking to anyone. It's not talking to anyone. So this, you know, as another story, the contracted energy apparently hears it and then misinterprets it, distorts it, and then says, "You're saying that we should all not do this and that." And it's like, well, no, there's no one already. There's just no one. There's no separation. There's no distance. There's no duality already. It is fascinating. It is really interesting. How that can evoke different responses.
It's this way, just killed any sort of what's it called? Like we got that pressure inside yourself. It's like got to do this thing. Must do this thing. Got to do this. Like,
I was literally just thinking that. I just feel like so.
could you call it neurosis?
Yeah.
I don't know what the word oasis means.
Neurosis.
Neurosis.
Yeah, like an anxiety.
Yeah. So that's killed in me. Especially just killed it in me.
I mean, it doesn't really kill it. It just exposes it. It's not real. And then for some bodies, it can.
Yeah, it's like recognition. Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course it's not.
It's an exposure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It is. I just can't stop laughing.
Yeah. Does that? Is that beautiful? Language scares me as well. Some of this stuff. I mean,
The language.
yeah, things that there. I mean, it's not anything to do with it. It doesn't change my life or your life. It doesn't either. I mean, saying it's quite. It's anything. It's something like, oh, I'm not going there.